Paul kept the Sabbath after the resurrection. Why don't you? The tomb was empty. Christ had risen. The veil was torn. The world had changed forever. But what didn't change? The Sabbath. Step into the sandals of Paul the Apostle, not a casual churchgoer, but a man taught by Christ himself, a man who wrote most of the New Testament. If anyone had the authority to shift the day of worship, it was Paul. And yet, he didn't. Acts 17:2 says, "And Paul, as his manner was, went in unto them, and 3 Sabbath days reasoned with them out of the Scriptures." Did you catch that? As his manner was. This was not a Jewish tradition clung to out of habit. This was Paul's lifestyle after the resurrection. Acts 13:42-44 declares that the Gentiles, not Jews, begged to hear more on the next Sabbath. Paul didn't say, "Don't worry, come back tomorrow, we worship every day now," or "We keep Sunday now because of the resurrection." He honored their request and met with them again on the Sabbath. Let that confront you. You, pastor, imam, priest, skeptic, who claim the Sabbath was nailed to the cross. You, who insist Sunday is now holy simply because Jesus rose. You, who preach under grace, not under law, as if grace gives permission to ignore God's commands. If Paul kept the Sabbath after the resurrection, what excuse do you have? Paul never preached a Sunday service. Not once. There is no verse, no command, no example, no suggestion, where Paul told the early Christians to forsake the seventh day. He didn't replace the Sabbath, he revered it. Do you call Paul a legalist? Then explain Acts 18:4. "And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks." Jews and Greeks. That destroys the lie that the Sabbath is just for the Jews. Paul taught Gentiles on the Sabbath again and again. If the day had changed, wouldn't the man who wrote to the Gentiles have said so? And what about the new covenant? Hebrews chapter 4:9 declares, "There remaineth therefore a rest," Greek, sabbatismos, "to the people of God." That word, sabbatismos, literally means a keeping of the Sabbath. It is present tense, ongoing, enduring. Paul, who thundered that faith does not nullify the law, but establishes it, Romans 3:31, did not break the fourth commandment. He upheld it. So why don't you? You say you follow Paul. You quote his letters. You teach his doctrines. But you trample on his example. The same Paul who warned against lawlessness, who declared that the law is holy, just, and good, Romans 7:12, never once declared Sunday holy. That idea didn't come from him. It came centuries later, from Rome, not from God. This is your wake-up call. Sunday worship is tradition, not truth. It's a man-made invention with no foundation in Scripture, and the moment you reject the Sabbath, you reject God's authority and replace it with your own. If you excuse yourself because you're under grace, then why not lie, steal, murder? The Sabbath is in the same moral law as those other commands. You don't get to cherry-pick. And if you say, "Jesus is my Sabbath rest," remember this: Paul had Jesus as his rest and still kept the Sabbath. So your argument dies right there. So here's the question. No skeptic, pastor, imam, or priest can answer with Scripture. If Paul kept the Sabbath after the resurrection, why don't you?